Wow. I give you 15
30
seconds
seconds
off.
to
This is how
broadcast.
you repay me? You know, this is why you leftists left us.
Right.
Uh-huh. Now you're acting like you don't know. All right, seriously, why?
15 seconds to launch.
That's why we sing the dingles. Does that mean we're close?
Places, please. 5 seconds.
Adjust your mojo.
You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Now.
At age, 60? He's just gonna break bad?
Radio with an attitude.
This system that we love is broken.
I know that.
Do not comply.
Hey, mother.
Welcome to another 2 hours of common sense
That liberty and justice for all is a myth.
and erratic behavior.
You want to, but you can't. And when you do, you wish you didn't.
This is your Daily Mojo.
Yeah, the place in Arlington, the big building that's shaped not like an octagon, not like a decagon, the place that's shaped like a pentagon, that damn thing has more leaks than the produce section at Kroger.
Yep.
What the hell is going on there?
Yep.
They've actually
Thank you.
they've actually now relieved someone else of their duties.
It's a third person, right? The third
Number
one? Yeah.
3. And these are supposedly all like hand-picked people of the current administration, correct?
That's what I thought. Yes. All new
Kinda
people.
weird.
Yeah.
This guy's named Colin Carroll. He is the chief of staff to Deputy Defense Secretary Stephen Feinberg. He was suspended a day after. See, this came out yesterday.
Yep.
Today's Thursday, when he was Tuesday.
Yeah.
So he was suspended Tuesday after 2 other dudes. And where's the equality in this? Why aren't we suspending any women?
Apparently they weren't leaking information. I don't know.
You expect me to believe that the pie holes of the world did not leak? It was 3 dudes. Has anyone checked the twigs and berries on these guys? Are they real? Are they factory originals?
It's a good question.
I mean, seriously. The other 2 dudes were Dan Caldwell and Darren Selnick. This guy, what's his name? Colin. I want to call him Colin Farrell, but that's not his name. It's Colin Carroll. No relation. He again is the chief of staff to Deputy Defense Secretary Stephen Feinberg. The leaks that they are investigating at the Pentagon include military operational plans for the Panama Canal, a second carrier headed to the Red Sea, Elon Musk's visit to the Pentagon to discuss China, and a pause in the collection of intelligence for Ukraine. So these are all the things that are being leaked out. This dude is a Marine Corps Reserve officer. Is that worth anything now?
It depends. It depends. Were they getting paid? That's the question.
Were they being blackmailed? Is there a difference?
Well,
do we care?
Being blackmailed and getting paid for releasing the information are 2 different things.
You're still releasing the information.
I guess.
He's a Marine Corps Reserve officer. He recently worked at Endural. That is a defense contractor that specializes in autonomous systems. Politico said that he was fired by the Biden administration for creating a hostile environment while chief operating officer of the Pentagon's former Joint Artificial Intelligence Center. How much you think that
pays?
That department is costing us. The Joint Artificial Intelligence Center. Dan Caldwell, the first guy that we heard of that was got the boot, literally escorted out of the Pentagon. I don't think in handcuffs, but I doubt they let him go back to his office to get his jacket. And Darren Selnick, the Defense Department's deputy chief of staff, they were security officers, walked him to the door, said, "Get the F out," and they stripped them of their add indignity to the situation. They took their building passes away and probably their parking privileges too. Both Caldwell and Selnick had worked at Concerned Veterans for America. That's the nonprofit that Pete Hegseth once led. The story's coming to us from Politico. The Democrats, of course, are still calling for Hegseth's head on a platter. They do not like him
at all. Well, they didn't like him before he got freaking
they
confirmed.
Didn't. Which makes me like him.
Yeah, I mean,
even more.
Ultimately, they're just going to continuously look for something to put on his head to chop it. But he is what he is.
You know why you use a straw when you drink iced coffee? Not get ice in your mouth.
But you got ice in your mouth, didn't you?
But I got ice in my mouth because I bypassed the straw.
I got you.
I remember when I was just starting out in radio a couple of years ago, and I was at KKZZ, and I was about to do the news, and for some stupid reason, I took a bite of a sandwich or something.
Right before you open the mic?
Like
Nice.
10 seconds before. I don't... The things you do when you're just starting out, and I wasn't that smart to begin with, but and I remember getting a trash can and spitting it out before I had to talk. The Pentagon demanded Pentagon chief step down after he shared sensitive details in a Signal chat. They're reporting that like it is, I guess technically it is fact that anything he put in the Signal chat was shared with was it Axios? The reporter? I think it was Axios. Whatever. It was not a friendly
I thought it was the Atlantic.
Maybe it's the Atlantic.
Yeah.
They both begin with A. They both have the same goal.
Okay.
So what the hell is happening at the Pentagon? And if these guys...
And look, I think that kind of stuff happens anyways, but at least you get the appearance of being cleaned up, right?
Sure. There's more to this story, obviously. We don't know what it is, and the mainstream media won't tell us.
Right.
I don't know if Hegseth will come forth and say anything. The Signal thing, they keep beating that story.
Yep.
They want that to stick so badly, and it makes no sense.
There is no difference between that, them trying to make that stick, and this idiot who flew to El Salvador thinking he can make that stick. There is no difference. All they're doing is just finding places and things to talk about to keep it in the news.
I thought you were going to compare it to the Biden laptop.
Whatever. Same kind of shit.
Remember when they all told us that the Biden laptop was Russian, to be fair, they said had all of the hallmarks of Russian disinformation.
Yeah.
They didn't technically say it was Russian disinformation. And that's their argument. Second major breach of classified info by the most senior political appointees in the 2 months. Does it feel like they've only been there 2 months now?
No.
The Trump administration. It feels like years already because so much is getting done, but
there's just a lot of news.
So many. Yeah, it's like trying to drink from a fire hose. He should never have been appointed. He should never. This is according to Representative Daniel Goldman out of New York. He wrote in a post on X, he should never have been appointed based on merit alone. But now, what should he have been appointed on? He should never have been appointed.
We'll finish the sentence. What does it say?
But now he is a national security threat. Hegseth must resign.
Oh.
He should never have been appointed based on merit alone.
Yeah, because I thought that Hegseth is the only one who didn't have the merit requirements to get in there, everybody was saying. I mean, what else would you have hired him on?
Right.
His
because
looks?
He's white?
Because he likes to drink once in a while?
Because of the tattoo?
Yeah.
I don't... Getting hard to interpret this news these days because things are so whack. I mean, we have an entire segment of society now that refuses to believe that Blue Origin even went to space. And technically,
Gail King is all pissed off about it.
Technically, it did go to space because what was the line?
The Carmen line.
The Carmen-Ghia line?
Carmen lines. Yeah, it's 100 kilometers.
Carmen-Ghia line, just below the Volkswagen line.
Yep.
But once you cross that, you're in space.
But
And
that's a different that line they're talking about as the Kármán line is different than what NASA's interpretation is. NASA's interpretation is 50 miles up. But this Kármán line was 60 miles. I'm like, okay, which one is it? Are you an astronaut after 50 miles?
Is there not an official
apparently
designation
not
of what the Kármán? Oh, that's right. It's NASA.
Yep.
They can't remember how to get to the moon. Seriously, the Kármán line.
Yeah. Just ask AI what the Kármán line is.
The Kármán line, widely accepted but not universally defined boundary.
Yep.
There you go. Typically considered the edge of space, located at an altitude of 100 kilometers. That would be 62 miles above mean sea level. It's named after Hungarian-born aerospace pioneer Theodor von Kármán, who also helped, of course, design the Kármán Ghia. Mm-hmm. Fabulous cars. Calculated this at this altitude, the atmosphere is too thin for traditional aircraft to effectively fly. It's a boundary, not a sharp line, where the Earth's atmosphere transitions to outer space. So, where'd the not universally accepted.
Yep.
While the Kármán line is widely used, some organizations like NASA and the United States military use a lower altitude of 80 kilometers. That would be 50 miles for defining the boundary between the atmosphere and space. Why?
Why the difference?
Technically, isn't NASA? I mean, NASA's the National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
Yes.
Kind of at the top of the pyramid of space stuff, right? Or is Space Force? I guess Space Force would technically be an assisting agency of NASA. And kind of like the Navy SEALs are for the Seabees. Right? Seabees go to build stuff, the SEALs go along to protect them.
Okay.
NASA does stuff, Space Force goes along and protects them.
Maybe, yeah.
I
have a question.
If you were going to have to envision that, yes.
Curious question. I'd like to ask the weirdos out there, at what altitude is the firmament, Brad?
That's a biblical thing. The firmament is, and this is where the flat Earth comes from.
Because apparently every rocket hits the firmament, but no.
I've looked into this before, and I understand why they have a question about the Earth. I understand the question. I'm at the point in my life where I'm not betting my life on it. Not that there's much left to bet on, or bet with, but I'm not betting my life on anything because it's hard to find the truth about anything. But I'm going to bet right up to my life that the Earth is actually a sphere and not a flat disk. Pretty sure that's true. But the firmament in the Bible refers to the sky or heaven, specifically the area between the waters above and below the earth, which God created on the second day of creation. This is the textbook definition. It's described as a vast expanse, a space or vault above us, while some interpretations see it as a solid dome. Hence you can't get above it because, boonk, much like the Truman Show, you would run into it. Others understand it as the separation of the waters in the atmosphere and the beginning of the cosmos. See, the waters above and below us, the water of the ocean being below us, the waters above us being the
heavens.
The moisture in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Because there's moisture until you get to space. There's no moisture in space, right?
Correct.
And no one can hear you scream in space. So there's no moisture and there's no screaming. But that's where they get the above and below thing.
Okay.
That's some people's beliefs. And who am I to say? But again, I lean toward
spherical.
The Earth is. I lean toward spherical. I do. Have to say. Do you want to get your opinion on whether the Earth is? Who'd have thunk in 2025 we'd still be debating the flat Earth, and or whether or not someone went into space?
Yeah.
And what the hell space is, where it starts. It is the painful death of belief. It really is. I put let me finish use the hashtag, what I learned today on all of the socials to enter our atmosphere, if you will. See what I did there?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, at Real Brad Staggs, at Real Ron Phillips over there, no matter where you're watching or listening, whether it's Rumble or not on YouTube today. We have a love-hate relationship with them. We're on Rumble, as I said, on Kick. Thing I like about Kick, you pretty much, well, so far anyway, now that I've said something, we'll probably get banned from Kick for mentioning the flat earth. But over at Kick, Jake's over there, Jay Reed Jr.'s over there. Just yesterday's or today's? No, this is today's. The chat looks like it's from yesterday. How does that work? If your Tang ain't orange, you're not going into space. Thank you, Jake. That's true. Tang, the drink of the astronauts. So I put this poll yesterday over on the X, and it's a simple poll. Do you believe that 6 women went into space aboard a Blue Origin rocket ship? 60%, almost 61% of people said no. 20% yes. 19, about the same, 20% unsure. That's weird because
That's right. Out of 58 voters, 29 of them are like, nah.
61.
I'm showing 58 right now, but okay.
You need to update your hardware there.
I was one of the 20%.
Which one were you?
Yes.
Unsure?
Yes. No. Yes. Come on.
Which is it? No or yes? You don't even know, do you? See, everything's.
I said
everything.
Yes. I said yes.
Crazy.
The Blue Origin penis went to space. Yes.
I mean, that was right. And then we had this chick over here, Snarky J. Mainly, I just wanted to reference. I wanted to reference her mainly because of the red dress and her mannerisms, and you'll see what I mean.
We hear on a daily basis. I did not think that a bunch of randos going into space would be trying to defend anything that they did as revolutionary, when really it's just tourism.
She's not wrong. I mean,
hey y'all, Snarky J cosplay here. So about a week ago, I heard that there was going to be this all-female trip into space.
Ron?
Yes?
Her eyes are up top. Dude, stop staring.
And I thought, wow, how cool, how interesting to have a group of female.
Notice the hand gestures. That's the international sign for woman who had great talents.
Yes.
Large hands.
Yes.
I don't know if Snarky J used to be a man or if she just got manly tendencies.
Female astronauts, women revolutionizing space and travel, presumably doing some sort of important research, things to better humanity. And then I actually saw who it was that went on this space journey. So it was not some interesting NASA thing. Meant for the betterment of humanity. It was Blue Origin, which is space tourism, basically.
Giant penis. Mm-hmm. It just, come on. It was space tourism.
It was. That's exactly what it was.
I get that, but it was space tourism. But But
isn't that what we've been working toward?
Yes, I mean that's the idea. That's you think of them as test rats.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got enough money to pay to go into space right now, do it.
Right.
Do it. It is space tourism. I completely support
your right to go into space. I completely support your right if you have a great deal, if you have big resources, if you have a lot of money, I want you to feel free to pay for a trip for me aboard Blue Origin or any other space rocket. Reputable. Safe.
I mean, that's what Bezos and his group and Blue Origin, that's what it's going to become. And Virgin. That is space tourism. Let SpaceX and NASA take care of the business of space. These guys are going to send people up, and it'll get cheaper and cheaper, and more people will go up.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. I I just, Daguerre Bear, by the way, says the altitude of the firmament depends on how much you've had to drink. Good point. I don't understand. Well, yeah, I guess I do understand it, but it's dangerous what has happened with our beliefs in this world.
Do you know who Bill Mitchell is on X?
I'm not sure.
I saw a post from him yesterday. Guy's all over X. He's been there for a long time. He posted this picture of Blue Origin's capsule landing. And you know how you got the puff of dirt, right? He's like,
a lot of people are referencing the rough landing. It looked like a rough landing. He's like the same thing.
How in the hell did they survive this? They should have been beat to death. And I'm thinking to myself, are you absolutely dumb? Do a little research before you put your stupid shit out there.
I didn't know.
You didn't know that thing had retro rockets?
Nope.
That fired right
before. No idea. Looked to me like the damn thing hit the ground hard.
No. Hell no. Come on.
Wow. I forgot. You did.
Just learn a little bit about freaking rocketry in space.
Where do you go to learn about rocketry in space?
At the rocketry and space place on the internet. I mean, come on.
Right. See, that's the problem. Where do you go to find the damn truth? That's the worst part about all of this stuff is it's hard to find the truth. It's hard to figure out exactly where to go.
The comments were just amazing to me. I'm like, how many dumb people are on X? That's a little scary.
Are you kidding?
No.
That's why I wore the shirt I did today. This is day number...
Let me get over here. There we go.
Day number something.
I'm a carpenter. I can fix stupid, but it's going to hurt.
It is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Be prepared for a couple of hard knocks on the head. Just the way it works.
Yeah.
And you're going to need something to, what they could have used on the Blue Origin to really soften their landing was maybe some of the lotion and other goodness from Sugar Creek Goods over at allnaturalmojo.com. Maybe, and there was lotion on board that flight.
Oh, absolutely.
Not necessarily in a bottle, but slathered all over at least one of them. Do you think it smelled like a Bath and Body Works inside that capsule?
It wouldn't surprise me. At all.
Chemical soup.
Yeah.
Chemical soup, Bath and Body Works. Go to Sugar Creek Goods, allnaturalmojo.com. Find the scent and the...
Oh, so it's like creamy coconut and Grandpa's pipe.
Creamy coconut. Ooh, sometimes you feel like a nut. Here's the deal with this. Your body is a temple. I mean, going back to the firmament.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a flat earther. Seriously, if you're a flat earther and you're depending on the firmament, and I don't know the people, I have no idea what their belief says. I mean, I know there are Christian individuals over at Sugar Creek Goods. I would be fascinated to find out whether or not they think the earth is flat. Not all Christians do.
I'll ask Valerie. She'll tell me.
So when you go to allnaturalmojo.com, you will find a selection of goods that are handcrafted, all natural, and there to help you take care of your temple, your body, to be good to it. Because if you don't have your health, you ain't got squat. And part of your health is taking care of the outside, too. My biggest problem has always been things like eczema, my skin, and of course, I do tear into it quite often with sharp things, which really doesn't help. But I do love lotion. I do love moisturizers. I've been moisturizing because when you're young, well, let me give you my story. Let me jump into as soon as I find the Wayback Machine. There's the Wayback Machine. Let me give you my story from many moons ago.
Okay.
As a young Indian warrior, I was always told, in the business of the TV and the radio, you were not taken seriously. You weren't, you didn't have any authority, any gravitas, unless you had some wrinkles, some lines in your forehead. Because until that point, people did not believe the words that were coming out of your mouth because, Walter Cronkite, he had lines. Think of all the trusted people that had lines. Then when you get older, you realize they were absolutely full of crap It wasn't about the lines in your forehead, and now you're wondering how the hell do you get rid of the lines in your forehead? Moisturization, that's the key. See, if I had known this all those years ago, if I knew then what I know now, I'd be in such better shape. But you'll find everything you need to make you look, and I would say feel, younger. Because the biggest part of getting older is you start looking in the mirror and all the lines and things sag. Gravity is a real pain. They don't have anything that's going to help you with gravity. Add sugar,
not
Greek
that
goods.
I
I mean, technically they can help you with the side effects of gravity, the wrinkles and things. They can help you smell good, which is obviously always a good thing. But when you are looking toward doing something good for your body, it's really tempting to, head to the mall and look, I take a big whiff when I go by the big stores too. But then compare ingredients. See what you'd rather be slathering all over your face. I'm going to pull out the moisture. Hang on. There we go. The moisturizing cream. This is Windy Day. It has shea butter. It has jojoba oil, argan oil, aloe vera, jasmine. I've always pronounced it lang lang, but it's YLANG. Oh, yang yang. It has patchouli. Be warned, patchouli is one of those polarizing fragrances. Some people love patchouli. Some people hate patchouli. Now, it's not overpowering, and it is combined with cinnamon oil.
Yeah.
And it has a really, is it comforting? There's something about the way something smells. It's our most powerful scent. So while you're doing something good for your body in the form of moisturizing the largest organ in your body, shut up, Ron, no comments.
Okay.
But it is your skin.
Yeah.
When you moisturize it, you want to smell good as well. I mean, what's the old adage about medicine? If it tastes really bad, it's good for you. You don't want that when it comes to taking care of your
lotion.
skin.
Yeah.
Right. This lotion smells like, yes, but your skin, it looks so young and fresh. Wait until you see how I tie this into the next thing. It's going to blow you away. The bottom line is this. Go to allnaturalmojo.com if you are looking to take care of your body, your health, your skin, your beard, your cleanliness, next to godliness. You will find what you need, what you are looking for at allnaturalmojo.com.
And you will get 15% off by using the promo code Daily MoJo.
Is that not amazing?
It is amazing.
We give you life hacks here.
We do.
At the Daily MoJo. We really do. And these are good people. These we've partnered up with. And kudos to Ron for finding them, kidnapping them, and bringing them back to the studio.
I just begged. I'm a good beggar.
Our basement is getting full, but we do appreciate it. So go to allnaturalmojo.com and find yourself something nice and get some money off at the same time. Again, the promo code is
Daily MoJo.
And you save
15%.
Wow. It's a good day in the neighborhood, isn't it?
Yep.
allnaturalmojo.com, promo code Daily MoJo. Smell good, feel good, be good.
Top of the hour, I flip on the radio for a blast of truth and power from the Daily MoJo. Oh.
Stupidity is not a competition.
So you don't shoot deer with a bullet that size. If you do, you could cook it at the same time.
Unless you're a politician.
Get the news from Brad and Ron. It's the greatest show. I have a few surprises on the Daily MoJo.
The Daily MoJo.
Missy13 says the candle smell over on the Rumble. Florida man in Alabama, I pledge allegiance to Eddie Lamar. That's Headley.
Headley.
You don't want to get sued by Hetty, who, by the way, did sue Mel Brooks and Blazing Saddles. T.R. Doherty says, good to be here on my way to New Jersey with my son to pick up a set of airplane wings. Why is he getting airplane wings? For a Piper Tri-Pacer he's restoring.
Oh, nice.
Jolly Jake Lovell says, how quick does Cialis work? I'll be firmament. See what he did there?
Uh-huh.
Crafting Freak, that's the benefit of space. No gravity. Right, you don't get the wrinkles. You don't get the wrinkles up there. That's a good thing. And W. Kunkel, they are space cadets for sure, whether they went to space or not. They did technically. They're astronauts.
See, that's the problem I have.
They trained for that event.
Okay.
If you train to go to space, that's the definition of an astronaut. I mean, you can argue, the concept of it all day long, but if you go by the book definition of astronaut, they are astronauts.
Okay.
Changed my mind.
No, I'm neither here nor there on that argument. You
just don't want them to be astronauts, do you? Damn it!
I don't know that I don't want them to be astronauts. Astronaut in my mind.
Be honest.
Is
you don't
not
want them to be
that.
astronauts.
Space tourism. They should call them something different, in my opinion.
Bitches?
Space tourists? No, not bitches.
Space bitches. What's wrong with that?
No. Because I don't want to be a space bitch when I get to space. You know what I'm saying?
You're already a bitch.
I am.
We know what they won't be in the UK. Well, we actually do know what they'll be because over in the United Kingdom, the top court there says that trans women are not legally women.
They sure did.
Now, they're not saying that trans women aren't women. What they're saying that they are not legally women under the Equality Act. What's the difference? Well, the Supreme Court in Britain ruled that the word woman or woman, don't you know, feminists hate that the base word of woman is man. I personally don't care. I think she should just be in the kitchen making a sandwich. I don't care what you call her. But the word woman refers to biological sex under the country's anti-discrimination law. In a blow to trans rights activists, the landmark judgment said that the legal definition of a woman is based on biological sex, could have far-reaching consequences for the operation of single-sex services like domestic violence shelters. Again, if you've got trans women trying to get into a domestic violence shelter, they're factory original, that leads to problems. All of this leads, it's the pronoun fight taken to the nth degree. All of the pronoun controversy, I identify as a she, it. So you identify as shit. Good. All that does is confuse the situation. All that does is make communication damn near impossible. At best, confusing. And so does the aggressive activist trans movement. Again, if you want to have stuff lopped off, sewn on, and go about your merry way, more power to you. If you're 18, you got the money, be my guest. Don't care what you do. Don't try to make me part of your one-act play. I may choose to look at you as a woman. I may not. See, in my brain, I think of people like Robin. I think of people like Jessica Watkins. I don't want to, obviously, something not ticking right upstairs. Again, I'd say this to Jessica's face, probably listening. But then there's something not right ticking up in my brain, too. So we can discuss varying levels of things not ticking right. And Lord knows there's a lot of stuff ticking the wrong way in Ron's brain. Just look at him.
The hell?
I mean, one of the eye ticker's not even working over
I'm
there.
not even on the
It's crazy.
screen, and you're ragging on me, dude.
Yeah. Am I wrong?
No.
No, see. To thine own self be true. This also has consequences when it comes to equal pay. We've never even really talked about that. Do you have to pay? I mean, where are the trans women complaining about equal pay for women? And again, yesterday or whenever, when did they go up to not space? Excuse me. When did they not go to not space?
Tuesday, I think, wasn't it?
Sure. These days are just, they're blowing by. But, suddenly the factory originals became the definition of women, strangely. The 5 judges involved in the UK Supreme Court decision emphasized that they were not commenting more broadly on whether trans women are women, saying it was... Wait a minute, back in 2025, y'all were arguing about what? Don't ask. Saying it was not the role of the court to adjudicate on the meaning of gender or sex. Instead, the judgment is limited to the precise meaning of language in the 2010 Equality Act, which aims to prevent discrimination. Of course it does. And like most legislation designed to do X, generally does not do X. As a matter of fact, it almost always does the opposite of X, not formerly known as Twitter. It'll be welcome news, they say, for Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Legal scholars theorize that the court might refuse to rule and instead force his government to weigh in on the thorny and divisive issue. So the unanimous decision of the court is that the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act 2010 refer to biological women and biological sex. So while they made a decision, it's still murky. Again, much like the definition of space and such. I stumbled across this one this morning. Apparently, these guys, and I don't know much about them. Hunter Williams is the guy's name. That's the YouTube channel over on the YouTube. And they apparently are not real happy with the fragrance industry. And I don't know exactly why, but, you dig into, you scratch the surface of any industry and you're bound to find things, here and there that you don't agree with. But they really have it out for the fragrance industry. And they went to the big perfume convention in I guess, Paris. And they, kind of like the Coke challenge, the Pepsi challenge, they bought fart spray. You ever smelled fart spray, Ron?
I haven't. No.
I don't think I have either. I mean, you can imagine what it probably smells like, but they mixed it with like a decent perfume just so it wasn't completely obvious that that they were just going around and having people smell fart spray. So they wanted to make it like, oh wow, yeah, that has a unique scent to it. And just some of the reactions of these people and some of the other little tabs that they sprayed and had people smell were like Axe body spray. One of them,
which smells good, by the way. I like Axe.
I think so too. Yeah. I am not hoity-toity when it comes to colognes. Some of the more expensive ones to me smell. Ugh. The cheap ones, I think they smell. That's why they're mass marketed. That's why a lot of people like Axe, because it smells good. Don't ask me why. You're welcome. So anyway, that was a thinking man's joke right there. So,
is Axe body spray. I'm embarrassed to say that I actually kind of like Axe.
Don't be embarrassed.
There's kind of something nostalgic about it.
There's nothing wrong with liking
It's definitely
Axe.
known for being the signature smell of any high school locker room. It's one of the cheapest fragrances. So these perfumes.
Look at that. You can get Axe for $6.
Yeah.
and a 52% coupon, which is not bad at all. All right, so let's. Here's the one of the first victims.
You want to try this one?
This is the axe.
Yeah,
it's very nice.
What do you think of this one?
No, it's a good one also.
Do you like it? You like
It's a good one.
I like it. It's a good one.
And for those of you listening to the podcast, this is one of the guys manning a booth at the perfume industry convention in Paris. So, and I have a feeling that I mean, if you are there and you're sniffing stuff all day, at some point, doesn't your sniffer just give out?
Well, you would think so.
You're so overwhelmed at some point. I don't know how. Do you walk through with like a clothespin on your nose? I mean, you have to keep those molecules out some way. But so he's like, yeah, it smells. It's not bad, which is what you'd expect him to say when he smells axe.
Here's a good one.
This one is
More elevated. This one seems more elevated. And
That was the other thing they did is they found keywords that are used in the industry. Elevated is one of a lot of the influencers and people in the parfum industry will use words like elevated. It has a very elevated scent. So they toss some of those in there. And
thank you.
And so
Thank you.
they walk away. It's like, yeah. And the one, hold on, where's that? Excuse me. Hold on while I find my mouse. There it is. This is the next one that they went to.
also smells great.
Here we go.
That is very, very good. You want to smell it?
They smell
This one actually smelled so good.
Right.
These people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Let's see what they think.
It was a
of
good
Axe
perfume.
Body spray.
Do y'all want to smell this one? This is our favorite one so far, but I guess in comparison to y'all's, I'm not sure if it's as strong. What do y'all think?
It's more soft. It's nice.
It's very soft and nice. Smart. By the way, the perfume that they like is Tabor. I've never heard of Tabor, but they're probably expensive. You like Polo, Ron? Not the game, the scent?
Yeah. I mean, I do.
Sound a little wishy-washy on that. Were you?
Well, I don't.
Sure you want to stick with that?
I
or?
don't use Polo. I like the scent, but I don't use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Curious.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind Polo. It's kind of common. So it really doesn't surprise me that you like it.
Okay.
You have an account on Instagram, let's say.
Yes.
Can I follow you?
Yeah, please.
With Busters.
Like, have you ever heard of Mythbusters
Oh, yeah,
before?
And they created a fake Insta account called With Busters.
Busters. That should have been a clue.
Well, no, but their point was in the way they explain it to people. Hey, look, we're out there. We are professional in the parfumery business, and so we are out there, fighting for the perfume business, and we don't like the interlopers.
Yeah.
So we're out there. We're busting. We're busting for the whiffs.
Yes. It's an American show. It's a play on words. This one, amazing. Thank you so much.
I think part of him could probably smell the axe and was like, what are you showing me right now?
Right.
I think he was a nice guy who was like, okay, hey, like that's good.
Yeah, I think that's the case because he smelled it. You saw the look on their faces. They were like, I think they felt bad for us.
I think so. They were like, these people don't know what they're talking about.
It's like going to a wine tasting.
Oh yeah.
You ever been to a wine tasting, Ron?
I wish. No, I have not. I'm not a wine connoisseur. No.
You've never been to a wine
I'm
tasting?
not. I just for whatever reason I never liked wine.
I don't like wine either, which is why it's so difficult when at a wine. I mean, I know what I like, and there is some wine I like.
But tell me you don't act like you're a wine connoisseur and you swirl it around and you tip it over and you look at the legs and come on, you got to speak the language. And
I do know what the legs are. Do you know what the legs are?
Yes,
in wine?
of course. That's the way it drifts down the glass. But the bottom line is you got to act like you know what you're doing if you go to a wine tasting. Otherwise, you're just a dumbass at a wine tasting.
Tastes elevated.
And you got to take a little sip and swish it around in your mouth.
And spit it out. I mean, if you really want to do it,
you
the
have
right
to
way,
spit it out. That's right. Not back into the glass. But
excuse me, where do I spit this out? Yeah.
I did go to a whiskey tasting once. That was awesome.
Did you swirl it around in your mouth?
Yeah, I did. Drank it.
Yeah,
swallowed some
whiskey
more
too.
Yeah,
I bet you
They'll
did.
give you as many free samples as you want. You get drunk just off of tasting. You can only do it once or twice, but then
They go down easier and easier, don't they? Oh, they sure do. They sure. Oh, speaking. There's Big Mike. I don't.
There it is.
No connection.
This is Phil Bell of the Daily MoJo with your morning update. In 2023, a mother of 5, Rachel Morin, went for a walk on the Ma and Pa Trail near Bel Air, Maryland. And that would be the last day she was alive on this earth. Because during that walk, she was attacked and savagely killed by an illegal alien from El Salvador. Back then, the media didn't care. And today, as her mother attempts to keep her memory alive, the same media also doesn't care because they are more focused on another criminal illegal alien also from El Salvador. And what makes this even worse is that Chris Van Hollen, one of the U.S. senators from the state of Maryland, where Rachel Morin was savagely killed by an illegal alien, right now is in El Salvador attempting to secure the release of another criminal illegal alien from El Salvador, who, by the way, was sent back to his country where he belongs. Now, I don't understand this. It's absolutely insane to me that our elected officials and our media could not care less about a young woman who was killed, the children who no longer have their mother, but they are so enthusiastically concerned about bringing someone back from El Salvador who should stay there because he was illegally here in the first place and was engaged in criminal activities while in the United States. This is unacceptable, and it's up to us as patriots to keep the memory of Rachel Morin alive, and it's also up to us as patriots to make sure that our government and our media is held to account. If we don't do it, no one else will. So what I want you to do is leave a message under the show today about what you are doing, not only to help keep the memory of Rachel Morin alive, but also to help make sure that sanity is found throughout our society once again. What I also want you to do is download the Daily MoJo smartphone app and enable notifications. That way you'll be up to date on the latest craziness and good stuff coming out of Washington, D.C., and you'll know how to share it with others. We'll see you down the line, and thanks for choosing the Daily MoJo.
Phil Bell's morning update is only on the Daily MoJo.com.
Every Thursday morning, tune you down, ooh yeah, to the Daily MoJo. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah. Now it's time to smile. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah. Right and wrong. King of the airwaves, king of the airwaves. The Daily MoJo, king of the airwaves.
This is your Daily MoJo.
Along with my queen, Real Ron Phillips.
I like to dance.
You do the queen bit.
I do like to dance
really well. Just want to say.
By the way, what's your go-to? What's your go-to cologne? Real quick.
I don't even know. I mean,
there's mine right there.
Red.
Bam. Aqua di Gio.
You buy the expensive stuff.
That's really not expensive. I mean, it's like $40 to $60. But
holy shnikes.
Dude, it'll last me like 5 years. So it's not like I wear cologne all the time, but that's my go-to. I love that stuff.
Do you have anything that's heterosexual? I've got a blue one, I've got a red one, and I got
that's
one,
all you know is blue and red.
Yes, I could not. Let me think about this. No, I don't know what the. Wait, one of them is Perry Ellis because I bought it at the Perry Ellis store.
Perry Ellis.
I think that's the red one, and it was like $20-$30.
Yeah. Yeah.
So not half as good as yours.
Ah, man.
$60 for.
It's between 40 and 60, depending on how much of it you buy.
Man, you make too much money.
By the way, Dr. Free Range Prisoner, you need to stay off of freaking X, dude. he overdid the wonky eye. Did you see that?
I've not. You want to show it to us?
I don't know if I can get it. I can't get it over there. It's on X. Let me see here.
Oh.
Hang on.
While you're doing that, remember to download the Daily MoJo app because you can send us messages in the app. Your parfum recommendations. For instance, you can send us a note as Deb Treadway did. Said, hope you and Beth have a fabulous Easter weekend. Love you, mean it. Love you back. You can also send us goodies. Now, you don't need the app to send us goodies. These were, let me see here. Happy Easter to you, Beth, Ron, Misty. Now you go home. From Tammy and Jason Carneth, famous Carneth family, who years ago, and it's still in use to this day, the Carneth coffee presses.
Yes,
fabulous addition here to the motel. And these are really, Ron. I'd run one down to you right now, but if you're buying $60 bottles of perfume, I don't think you need the chocolate eggs.
I couldn't show those. I sent them to you, so you can show them.
I can't show them either.
Okay.
Wow, why do you tease us?
I'm sorry. But, you've seen people making those little characters in the bubble pack. It's I guess it's on Facebook and on X. He made one of me and you.
What was my standout
the little
feature?
Blister. Let's see. You're wearing a T-shirt that says, "I'm not slacking off. My workload is just too low."
Huh? It's easy to block him. I mean, all it does is. Lauren Sanchez is getting some real pushback on her outfit. I don't know. Is this a bad thing?
Was she not flying in space at the particular moment this was taken?
That is not a spacesuit.
It doesn't look like it.
That is a who was it? Who designed this for her? It was some big designer, kind of like your parfum. This was wasn't Kardashian. Who the hell was this? Bob Mackie? Nah. But Sanchez said she was proud when she's proud wearing this out at night. She said it's all about pushing boundaries, honoring brilliance. And this is what'd she say? A cast off. Hang on a second.
You clear?
Must have been
good.
I'm not sure. I don't. The pipes are like clogged this morning. Who is the name of this fashion designer? Was it Christian Dior? This may have been Christian Dior. But it looks, I don't know, tight. And by tight, I mean tight. Doesn't it look a little too tight?
Looks a little bit tight, yeah.
Looks a little tight. I mean, just a little tight. I'm saying. But she's leaning into the astronaut thing. And see, this is why you get upset. This is why you get upset with the astronauts.
I don't know that it's because I get upset with the astronauts.
You get upset. You don't want them to be astronauts. Is that a fair statement? You don't want them to be termed astronauts. You think it's diluting the term astronaut.
I do. I think astronaut should be the business side of space. I think we should come up with a different name for these people. Space tourist. Something,
That just rolls off the tongue. Space tourists. If I tried to wear something like that. Bugs Mom says, if I tried to wear something like that, I'd look like a giant blueberry.
Yeah.
They're going to write this stupid Astro maybe thing for months. They really wrote in a rocket. Yeah, why is everybody having such a hard time with that?
I mean, we didn't have... Look, this is what, the 15th or 16th or some odd flight of Blue Origin? Nobody ever questioned it before this one. Is it because they sent an all-female crew up this time?
They decided suddenly what a woman was. W. Kunkel says, Ron, search training involved to be a passenger on Blue Origin rocket.
Okay.
Not My Dog says, how about glamtards?
Glam
space cadets,
cards,
according to
space
Jenny
cadets,
C.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to take away the experience that they had aboard a giant rocket.
Right.
And it did. Again, which leaves me even further down my rabbit hole of we're living in a simulation. Meanwhile, is Lauren Sanchez from Puerto Rico?
I don't know.
I mean, Sanchez, she's got to be from someplace Spanish, right?
You would think, yes.
Right. Just saying. If she is from Puerto Rico, she could have taken some of the money she spent on their outfit and perhaps have invested it in Puerto Rico's electrical grid. The entire island of Puerto Rico yesterday was without power.
The entire island.
The entire shooting match.
Wow.
More than 1.4 million customers in Puerto Rico lost electricity yesterday afternoon when all of the island's power plants were knocked out of service. The cause was not immediately clear. Okay, what is going on? I'm channeling Doc Thompson. The cause not immediately clear, according to the private electrical companies that generate and distribute Puerto Rico's power. Is ERCOT working down there? Did we send ERCOT to Puerto Rico? That is just mean. The island often recovers slowly from power disruptions. You ever been to Puerto Rico?
I have not.
It's a pretty place.
I've been to, what is it, St. Thomas, and I think from St. Thomas you can see Puerto Rico.
That's close enough. That's kind of like them. So, they could see space from where they were sitting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico, though, they experienced a massive blackout across the entire island due to all of the power generation plants unexpectedly going offline. Does this smell fishy to you? Does this... could this be something other than, oops, we unplugged it. It just seems weird that the entire island goes down and, yeah, we're just not sure. People who, and remember, Puerto Ricans are Americans, right?
Ish, yeah.
Sorta. Kinda. Maybe. They have had power grid problems since Hurricane Maria devastated the island in 2017. So they're saying it's all because, the system was damaged thanks to the hurricanes. The island is projected to experience power shortfalls on 90 days between June and October. So I don't know what is happening in Puerto Rico, but something is weird. But that's just, we're more concerned about whether or not these babes really went into space. We live in very strange times. I don't know if you knew that or not. There is good news on the karmic front. The chick who punched, what were their names? Babe 1 and Babe 2. Brianna Rivers was the puncher. Savannah
reporter?
Craven and Tao was the punchee. Because they were talking about abortion.
Yeah.
And the pro-life interviewer and the puncher, the pro-abortion puncher, and just, it was such a weird interchange.
She did get arrested, though, right?
She did get arrested. This is the chick that got punched in the face. And this happened April 3rd. Wow. See, this is where it blurs. This is where communication again is important. The conversation was something to the effect of, I need to know the percentage of people who take children from foster care and abuse them and molest them, who makes them like personal slaves. This is what the puncher said in support of abortion rights. Should we just kill them? That's what the interviewer said. The puncher then accused Rivers of being okay with killing kids in foster care and sexual assault victims, and then punched her. She punched her in the face with her fist before whacking her with the phone. And then as she turned away, she said, "Suck my dick."
Mm-hmm.
It's not polite.
Especially if you don't have a dick.
How dare you make that assumption?
Am I wrong?
How dare.
Okay.
I'm just saying. But she was arrested, and but she did, of course, respond to all of the criticism. Anybody who knows me knows how respectful I am. I don't even litter. There's no way you believe I'm punching people for disagreeing with my point of view.
Wait a minute. We have it on video that she punched, and she's like, there's no way people are believing that I punched.
It's the same people who don't believe that 6 chicks went into space.
I guess.
Did I mention we live in really weird times?
You can convince anybody of anything, I guess.
Is that not the truth? It is truly. Let me see if I can. Oh, you got the daily. Okay, got it. Okay, let me see if I can get these. You know what we'll do is for just a brief moment in time, we will pause. We'll pause the action. Technically, this is a disguise for a commercial break.
Yes, it is.
But we're proud of our commercials. We're proud of our affiliate sponsors. We'll talk about one of those here in just a second, and it could have come in quite handy for the punchee in that.
Yes, it could have.
Yeah, I mean, it really could have. And we'll do that next on the Daily Mojo.
If you're offended, you're listening wrong. The Daily Mojo.
You know, it is surprisingly harder than you would imagine to say words unrelated to the action that you're taking behind the scene.
Yeah.
And try to type and move files at the very same time. It really. And for those of you who out there are mocking me, I don't know why you're so upset about your action figure, Ron. I think mine's pretty good. Let's just bring Jeff Fisher.
Okay,
in.
Jeff Fisher is here. Here he comes.
Because
hello,
hello,
Jeff.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. Hi, Mr. Fisher, who is the
no, really, it couldn't have been me.
Host.
I don't even litter. Oh, okay, thanks.
I know that's just such a weak excuse.
What are we doing? And I bet she does. I bet she does.
Oh, I'll bet she litters all over the damn place.
Absolutely.
That woman, she is anybody who would stand there and tell you that that wasn't me punching her. And of course it was her punching her. But that's where we are. That is
insane.
It's the dead. You know what it is? It's the dead parrot sketch. It's the Monty Python dead parrot. That parrot's dead. No, it's not. It's resting.
No, it's not. It's resting.
It's not. It's not dead. It's resting. I mean, that's what we're now being told is don't believe things, and people don't believe things now. People do not believe that we had 6 babes in a penis rocket on Tuesday.
But we did.
And
it was actually Monday. But go ahead.
Okay.
Was it Monday?
That's correct.
Ron said it was Tuesday.
No, I said it could have been Tuesday. It was Monday. Okay.
Ron, I heard you say it was Tuesday, and I trusted you. Why are you?
But I believe they went up too, Jeff. I think, look, they didn't question
the Carmen line. They passed
they didn't question the other flights.
And technically,
it's the Carmen Dia line, first of all.
Technically, when you pass the Carmen line, you're in space. Got it.
And you get called an astronaut.
Well, that's questionable. That's questionable.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. It's questionable.
Yeah. I mean, Katy Perry, before they went up, she changed her tune after she came down and kissed the dirt. She was the only one that actually kissed the dirt. The other kissed the rug. But she said prior to the flight, prior to the ride, prior to the spaceship launch, that they were putting the ass back in astronaut. That's how serious she was taking it. So Just saying that it's an important.
Well, she did do that. I guess.
They did put the ass in astronaut.
Astronaut, yeah.
Astronaut.
They put the ass in.
They put the
astronaut.
Astronaut, yeah.
What is the definition of astronaut?
And I'd like to know.
What's the definition of astronaut?
I don't think any of these women paid. The others. There's some people that paid like $28 million to go on this ride. I think Lauren Sanchez made Jeff pay for this whole thing, just to please her, just to shut her up.
He pays. He pays every day.
Every day. Yeah, I guarantee you he pays.
He built his yacht. He built a separate yacht so that follows the main yacht around for all the toys. But they had to have the separate yacht built so that they could land a helicopter on it, so Lauren could fly her helicopter. So just to shut her up.
Wait, what?
That's his life.
What do you what does she do with her little finger that is so amazing? Because it's something.
Well, yeah, I mean,
there is something that she does.
I mean, they were both married when they started taking care of a little business on the helicopter, and because she used to just be his helicopter pilot, and then they started hooking up. She was married at the time; he was married at the time, and so that marriage.
So she does technically know. She knows how to handle a stick.
Absolutely, she does.
Hey!
Yeah, no, I got the joke.
That answers the.
All right, yeah, got it.
That was
hilarious.
Because it's a stick. It's a dick joke because it's and then we have the Blue Origin rocket that looks like a giant stick.
Yeah, I mean that's just the ride into space.
Okay, see, you are all matter of fact about the Carmen Gil line, and that is not. There's some controversy with regard to where that line is. Is it 50 or 60 miles into space?
Yeah. Because the
why can't we
just goes into the beginning barrier right after the Kármán line?
Yeah,
but
NASA.
I forget exactly how high that is, but it's
62 miles
or 60 miles.
Okay.
62
so they
miles,
go like 62.1 or something like that, and then you're in space, and then they unbuckle and float around.
What Brad's talking about, though, Jeff, what Brad's talking about is that NASA has a lower. Theirs is only 50 miles. To be considered space.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's fine.
But that's not okay. That's not okay. It's like the boundary between the United States and Mexico is here it is. It's not, it's somewhere in the 50s. But what is the,
I believe
is it
that
50
you're
or 62?
On that as well, but go ahead.
God. It just amazes me that we don't have a strict definition of what space is or isn't, because leaving things all wishy-washy, then when you leave things wishy-washy, that's when you end up with claims of 6 babes going into space aboard a giant penis. And see what kind of mess we're in now.
I mean, it's so silly. I mean, I know Gayle King was all wound up. I mean, she's comparing herself to astronauts, and okay, shut up. You trained for 2 days.
She is an astronaut.
She trained for. I'm telling you, I got it. Okay, I got it. She is an astronaut. She went into space. They trained for 2 days.
She is.
They trained for 2 days. Does it take? How much training does it take, Brad, for you to figure out how to walk into a capsule, buckle yourself in, go up into space? Just past the Kármán line, float around for a little bit.
Did you just do air quotes over space?
I did.
Did you just do air quotes over space?
I did, yes.
So we can't even decide what space is. The technical definition of
astronaut
is a person who trained to travel in a spacecraft. That's the definition. Ergo, they are astronauts.
Okay, fine.
It pains me to have to defend
That's
them.
fine. That's okay. Fine. They're astronauts.
Oh, now you're okay. 2 minutes ago, you weren't okay with it.
I'm still not
2 minutes
okay
ago,
with
you're like, they're not
teasing
astronauts.
you. I'm just telling you that
Ron
to shut
is-
you up because that's fine.
Ron is all bent out of shape. He does not want them to be astronauts.
I think that name should be reserved for the people who have doctorates and degrees and all that other mess.
You do not want them to be astronauts.
Yeah, I think we need to redefine
for it.
We need to redefine what the training is, because they train. They went out to West Texas for 2 days, sat around and decided that they were going to wear their Mons spacesuits, or Monse, or whatever his stupid name is that designed the spacesuits, and
Is that the guy's
look
name?
pretty. Yeah, that's their designer, Yeah, I think it's Monse. I'm not sure if he pronounces it Monse or Mons or however he pronounces
Rhymes
it.
with gay?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a female. I don't know if it's a man. Mostly men are, the designers for women. Weird how that is. Huh. Anyway, it's just the way it is. It's the way it is.
I'm not saying what I was going to say.
And they're
about
not the
pants.
first women in space. They tried to, they walk that line. I got it. The Russians sent up a woman 100 years ago, and we've been sending women up into
No, that was a
space.
monkey.
Shut up.
That was a monkey. That
they
wasn't a
did
woman.
that as well. They did that as well.
Are you sure?
It's just silly.
Are you
no.
sure?
No, Brad, because we're living
sure?
in a
See,
simulation.
That's it.
No, Brad, because we're living in a simulation.
I knew it.
I
So
got
you
it.
agree too. You think we're living in a simulation too.
I don't, though. No, I don't. But I'm just playing along with you.
I'm trying to work in the burn a launcher, by the way. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm trying to work in because I did make reference to the fact that the chick who punched the other chick over the abortion disagreement could have used this to pop
Absolutely,
a ball
she
in
could
her
have.
butt.
Right. Absolutely, she
It
could
would
have.
have
Now,
hurt.
if
At
you
that range,
when you
boom.
shoot the burner launcher, something comes out of it, right?
I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad you
It's a
asked.
ball.
Is it
I'm
attached?
glad you asked. It's a little ball.
Okay, so that
No,
would,
you're thinking of a taser. This
Yeah,
is
okay, so that's not
it's not
attached.
attached. It's a
Okay,
little
so
green
if
ball.
you shoot
nail
that,
them in the butt with a
is
ball.
that considered littering?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Doesn't litter.
Well, she'd be the one getting popped. She'd be the one with the cap in her butt.
Never mind.
And but if you use the eco-kinetic round, these little green ones, these actually dissolve in water. So technically, no,
Oh,
it
goes
wouldn't
back
be
to the
littering.
Well, all trash.
It does
actually
go back to the earth.
So, it's a little,
Doesn't all trash come from the earth in the beginning?
it does. It does. It actually does.
It's kind of weird when you stop and think about it. See, that one disintegrated just now. But you can also, of course, load this with the pepper spray and tear gas balls.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, the plastic one, the little plastic, they call them training rounds. They technically don't disintegrate. And I think you can
Right,
just
but
go
the
back.
kinetic rounds are just like hard plastic. They're hard marbles or whatever.
Okay.
They'll hurt.
They will
Right,
hurt.
and you can go
They
pick it
will.
up and use it again, right? I mean, if it's
Yes.
not all effed up, you can go back and pick it up and use it again.
Nice. I like that. Recyclable.
I mean, tell me what is not to like about the burner launcher from protectmymojo.com, where Pentel Less Lethal Protection is actually an official dealer of burner technologies.
It's awesome.
I worked all that in.
You did.
I did. So go to protectmymojo.com, use the promo code Daily MoJo, get how much off, Ron?
10%.
10% off. Do it today. If you've been thinking about doing this, just do it. Stop thinking about it. Do it. Buy one for yourself or for someone you care about, or perhaps a reporter out on the street. Because you never know when you're going to get sucker punched. Bottom line. No. I didn't. No. I meant for the reporter who was who got punched in the face and actually ended up requiring stitches after the chick that doesn't litter, hit her. She doesn't litter, but she hit her.
She doesn't litter, but she hit her. Be here all week.
See, that would have been a fabulous Johnny Cochran line, actually. Anyway, again, going back to the initial confusion over these 6 babes getting aboard this giant metal phallic tube and going into space and becoming astronauts, the number of people who don't believe it even happened shouldn't surprise me, but does surprise me.
Oh,
It's
man.
just weird.
And there's some big time breakdowns online that are breaking down how it didn't happen. It's fascinating to me. It's fascinating.
Well,
It
the
really
whole
is.
show with the door opening, that was a little bit ridiculous. Did you see that,
Right.
Jeff?
I did.
I mean, come on. He wanted to make a show of opening the door with his rod. I get it. But they opened the door before he do that. I mean,
did that actually happen?
yes,
Yeah,
that actually happened.
I watched it, but I watched it on my phone, so I don't know that.
They opened the door like 3 minutes before They were scheduled to.
So
They
that
opened it from the
actually happened.
inside. Yeah.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
That's tremendous. Because he had a special little tool and everything to open it.
He still did it. He still went up there 3 minutes later and opened it with his special tool.
The reason he was late is because he fell down when he was.
I saw that too.
He
He
was going
kissed
around
the dirt.
capsule, checking every window, and then he falls in a hole. I mean, he face plants into the dirt. I must have watched that on loop for about 1,000 times.
Here it is. Here it is. This is. You see, she walks up, and the door starts to open. And she's like,
and then she's like, close the door, close the door.
Close it. I'm in here.
Right. Hello, it's being used.
Awesome.
So why did he again?
Think it was real. I didn't think it was real, but that's tremendous.
And it just added to the.
He's standing there.
And why does that thing open in?
That's a good
Do
question.
they all open in?
No, the SpaceX opens out. It opens out and up. SpaceX
it gives you a better seal, right?
Yeah.
But the airplanes open in like that. So
airplanes
the
open
airplanes
out.
don't
Jeff.
go into space.
Airplanes open outward, Jeff.
Yeah, you dummy.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They open outward against the fuselage, so you can. It's a clear path.
You call yourself a pilot, Jeff? You call yourself a pilot?
I don't actually. I was just trying to remember.
Why does the door open in? Because it seems that goes against. That's counterintuitive. Also
it's just a ride. That's because it's just a ride. Is why it opens.
Just a ride. Yep.
It's just a ride.
And then the other thing is, how did they survive when the thing just boom hit the ground
so hard that it blew dust everywhere?
Well, the seal.
Well, you have the. Wait, now stop.
See,
I
here
realize
it comes.
that it hit the ground hard, but they have the parachutes.
Retro rockets.
They have the parachutes that come down, and so you're lowering the speed there, and you're strapped into your comfortable recliner that you've been strapped into. So,
but Jeff, that has retro rockets on it, right? It has retro rockets that fire milliseconds before it hits the dirt.
Gives it that little push for the sadness. Yeah. So you're fine.
Everybody knows that. I didn't know it. I thought the damn thing hit the ground really hard too. I was like, why? Why did it hit so hard?
And it has to have the lowering retro rockets to ease some of that landing. I mean hello.
Especially with those 6 butts on the plane.
Right. I mean, they're putting ass back in astronaut. You gotta
thank you.
What you're doing.
It's is that real? Is that AI? Is that a real shot of that rocket?
That looks like a real shot of the rocket.
Yeah, it does.
It didn't look real.
That's because they're filming them now with drones, so it doesn't look like it's real flying past it.
Yeah.
You couldn't have made that look more like a penis if you tried.
Sure, you could have.
Seriously,
you could have. You
could have been
made
ribbed,
it look more.
Brad. It could have been ribbed.
It is ribbed.
The rockets at the bottom. The rockets at the bottom could have been off to the side.
They kind of are. They're smaller, but they're kind of.
It's the bulbous capsule at the top.
Yeah,
that kind of gives it away.
But going back to the door, why? What?
Okay, go ahead. No, I was just.
No. You were going to say what?
I was wondering why we don't make a big deal out of Bezos littering with the rocket itself, because that doesn't come back to Earth and get caught like Elon's rockets do.
Oh,
yeah,
it does.
It does. Yeah. It lands first.
I didn't know that either.
Does it get caught?
No, it doesn't get caught. It just lands. It lands on a landing pad.
Back on the pad.
You know why it doesn't get caught?
Good.
You know why it doesn't get caught by chopsticks?
I don't know that I knew that.
Because it's not possible. It's not possible for a rocket to get caught that way. That's because everything Elon does is not real. It's AI.
I don't know that I knew that though about the Bezos Blue Origin. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm glad. So he
it comes down. It lands on little sprig legs.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. That's awesome. I mean, that's good. Look, he's so jealous of Elon and wants that space program to work, and all he's doing is doing a carny ride. Okay, all right, fine.
Which is fine. I mean,
it's fine.
The world needs carny rides.
They do.
Not necessarily carnies, but carny rides.
Whoa.
And this is. Nobody supports carnies more than
this
I know
little
you
chick.
support truckers.
She's a space nut. I like her. I follow her.
Who
on
is that?
TikTok.
I would do it. There's not really fat guy seating on the ride, but I would go if they asked.
That is not that picture you just showed was not
That
of
was
this
Katy
flight.
Perry. That's Katy Perry.
If it is, I don't know. I don't think it is, but go ahead.
No, that doesn't look like Katy.
No, I think
Got
this
her
is
mouth open.
I think this is the chick from two or
They were
one
all
or two
they
flights
were all
ago.
women.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
They were.
Thank you.
Yeah,
She
no,
looks
this
happy.
isn't that flight from Monday.
Okay.
They may have pieced it together, making you think it is, but it's not.
Yeah,
That's not
Katy, though.
That's not Katy Perry.
It's
That was not Katy Perry?
This was flight 31. This was actually like flight 15 or 16 with humans. The first 14 or 15 were not with humans.
Okay, if you say so. That's a dude. That was not Katy Perry. They sent. Is that Reba McEntire?
No.
Who is that?
No, I don't.
Who is that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Who are those
I don't
people?
I don't have a list.
How'd they get on board the
all the
damn
people
flight?
that-
Why can't we get on the flight?
Because they paid millions of dollars.
You know, the conversation that you and I had about missing the old days when they would call people like you and me up and ask us to go on a rocket ship ride.
All right. I know. I know.
We don't
And the
even
thing
get
is,
spit on.
I don't know that. I don't even know that. I might get the Red Baron pilot treatment at walking up to the Blue Origin though. 'Cause I can remember going on the Red Baron airplanes. The Red Baron pizza airplanes were in town when I was in Tampa for the Gasparilla parade, and we were, again, like you said, hey, well, you guys want to go on the radio station? You come on out for a ride, and we said yes.
Right.
So Stu Bergier, who is part of the Glenn Beck program, and it does his own stupid show on the Blaze, something about Stu does it world or America or whatever it is.
He's not an astronaut.
Yeah, no, he is not. But we went out for the ride on the Red Baron, and as we're walking up to the plane, the pilot, the pilot's leaning up against the plane. And he's looking at me like, "We're not doing any flips." Okay. Sorry, fat man, but we're not doing any flips. All right. I was very disappointed.
Why didn't you sue him? You should have sued him.
Because I understood the process. It was okay.
Yeah, but no, that's not the point. If you had sued him, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. You'd be,
Jeffy
you know what?
Baron
You'd be,
Pizza now.
you'd be on the damn Blue Origin giant rocket.
Thank you. Maybe.
See,
'cause
this is where you're.
it doesn't look like they have fat guy seating. So.
Well, you just push two of the chairs together inside. Big deal.
Are you going on Blue Origin? Yeah, I need to use my seatbelt extender, and we'll go.
Okay, good thing you have one.
I do.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't know if it's been retrofitted to Blue Origin, but what's going on?
What am I hearing?
Hang on. We were talking about it.
What? Is that Jeff Fisher
That
in the
is
Red
not
Baron?
Jeff Fisher. That's me. In my that was I wanted to say
This is
That's
AI.
not the Red
Ron
Baron.
never went up in the damn Red Baron.
That's not the Red Baron.
Ron, are you drinking again?
No.
Is this the Blue Thunderbird? Is this the Thunderbirds or the?
No, but I did take a
Blue Angels?
Oh, snap.
Wait, is this the Red Baron or the Thunderbirds?
No, it's neither.
What is it?
I just took it's a pit airplane. I just took an acrobatic flight and puked my guts up, dude.
What's a pit airplane?
It's a little small acrobatic plane. But Jeff was talking about Red Baron flying.
Stop there.
Do we get to see you throw up?
Well, no. I mean, but you see me sweating right there?
Is that pre-puke sweat?
That's exactly what that is.
Now I'm flying right here.
Hold on a second.
Yes, they
You
did.
can fly a plane with that wonky eye. They let you fly a plane.
They let me fly a plane. Yeah, they did.
So that means you're a pilot.
I am a pilot.
If you consider the Blue Origin people astronauts, you're a pilot.
I'm a licensed pilot, though, really. So, yes.
Don't talk down to me.
See, you say
Don't talk
that.
down to me, okay, don't do that.
You say that, but I question
okay.
that. Is that I'm not even sure that's true.
If you're a licensed pilot, do you have a license that will allow you to fly that particular airplane?
I can fly any airplane as long as I have an instructor with me if I haven't been checked out. The guy sitting behind me is an instructor. Yeah.
Okay. So you're not.
So I did in my logbook. I got to log time as a pilot in that plane.
No,
yes.
You're not actually a pilot if you can't fly the plane alone. I'm sorry. No, that does not count. That's counting Blue Origin as space astronauts. That's what you are. You're a pilot.
I know.
You could not if you can't fly.
Jeff
the
was
plane
talking
alone,
about the Red Bear, and I thought, let me bring this out.
Make you a pilot. Okay, no, I'm not giving you that.
I guarantee you, they don't let you fly an airplane with this eye. This is the Ron Phillips action figure, and you cannot.
There. Yeah, that's a little exaggerated.
Well,
that eye.
I mean, I will say this, man. This is why he can't fly the plane alone. This is why he has to have a
Thank you, John.
Instructor.
John, I appreciate that, buddy. You told him my eye was completely shut, but it's not.
You look like a poor man's Negan.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, Bucko, show him yours.
I can't because I didn't have time to get it over there. I just had time to show yours.
I
don't.
You learn something new every day, though. I did not know Ron self-identifies as a pilot, but isn't one.
I am a pilot, dude.
That doesn't know. No, we're not giving you that.
Look, we have an issue with Ron on occasion making shit up. I mean, he just
right. And
I mean, it's
if you're going to make it up, just say you're a pilot. Just say
Look,
you can fly.
I live in my own little world. I don't know what you're talking about there, dude.
Just say you're a pilot. Don't say, "Oh, I can only fly with instructors." Just say you're a pilot. What are we doing?
No, I'm a pilot. That plane, I had to have an instructor.
Real pilots
you
don't
just
quantify
said
their answers.
You're a certified pilot, but you can't fly.
I couldn't fly that plane. That plane. I wasn't checked out on that plane. I had to have an instructor to let me fly that plane. But he allowed me to take the controls, and I got a logbook entry. Just I've flown jets before, but I'm not signed off on them.
Who are you trying to convince?
Right
Jeff.
You're right. He's right.
I'm trying to convince Jeff. He's the one that's going, I know you're
not working.
Good luck with that.
Not working.
I did get my action figure.
Oh, you did? There it
worked out there, yeah.
Okay.
So I again, who do we?
That would be Free Range Prisoner, our joystick driver over there.
I look like I'm a fire plug. I don't know quite why that is, but what? I don't look. Do I look like that? I don't look like that. Do I? Tell me I don't.
No, Brad, you don't.
I know
you don't. You don't look like that,
No, Brad. You don't.
I knew it. I didn't. There's this. It doesn't look. I don't know.
He's a little thick.
He's thick. I mean, I don't feel that thick. I don't think. I mean, I may be, but I don't. I'm getting less thick.
Yeah.
Wow, look at the time. We're all out of time. So when does the next episode of Chewing the Fat? I know time flies when you get together, right?
I know.
Really. You know, I think you
Chewing the Fat.
We need to set your bar a little higher.
Wherever you get your podcast, drops every day at 4 p.m. Central.
4 o'clock.
And why? Please subscribe to Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. And also, we do a Saturday morning live show. You and I.
Yes, we do.
And that is not simulation. That is live. And that's why it's called Saturday Morning Live. 9 a.m. Central. You can watch that on multiple platforms. Most importantly, my X.
But mostly on X, yeah. Just watch it on X, on Jeff Fisher's X account. That'd be at
There's multiple
JeffyJFR.
places you can watch it, but why?
But really, none of them matter aside from at JeffyJFR on X. That's
right. That's
all
right.
you really need to know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there he is, the man, the legend.
See you, Jeffy.
Not an astronaut.
Love you, buddy.
Jeff Fisher, host of Chewing the Fat. No, not an astronaut. More of the program coming up next.
The Daily Mojo.
So many buttons, so little time. So many buttons, so little time.
I saw you sent that to me. What do you want me to do with it?
No, I don't want you to do anything with it.
All right.
It was just something I saw it and I thought, I needed to send that to you because it was an air check that I wanted you to listen to from days
gone by. Yeah.
NBC in San Antonio, well, I guess NBC National, but investigated in San Antonio a nonprofit by the name of, I think it was Endeavors. We have heard of this nonprofit before. It was mentioned by name at the time that the border crossings were at, a huge, at one point, what were we, 10,000 a day, something crazy. And one of the stories was about Endeavors, that they were putting the illegals up in these hotels and condos, etc. And which is crazy. Giving them phones and credit cards and all kinds. They didn't give them credit cards, whatever. They gave them gift bags, just like you get at the Oscars.
It was probably gift cards, not credit cards.
Right, exactly. They weren't credit cards, they were gift cards. Big difference. Anyway, the latest that Dogie has dug up, and this actually came out, I think, last week. Endeavors had an $18 million contract with the federal government. $18 million. And what were they doing with it?
Well, not housing people.
Nope. The Department of Health and Human Services terminated the contract, paying Family Endeavors $18 million a month.
What?
$18 million a month to operate an empty
Where does that money
facility.
go? Where does that money go?
In people's pockets. It is. How did this? Well, we know how it happened. It happened with the aid of. Let's see if I got
Did a
else.
nonprofit.
I do. Here we go. This is the story from NBC San Antonio.
Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has targeted a nonprofit based here in San Antonio, saying its contract for $215 million a year is canceled. News 4 San Antonio I-Team Waste Watch reporter Jay Avila has this story live from the Content Center.
Mandy, in a post on X, DOGE said the Department of Health and Human Services had terminated a contract paying Family Endeavors $18 million a month to operate an empty facility in West Texas.
The organization is also known as Endeavors, and you may have seen its administrative headquarters and wellness center on De Zavala Road, where it has a cluster of buildings and storefronts. DOGE focused on an overflow housing facility for migrant families Endeavors operates in Pecos, Texas, which DOGE says has been sitting empty, while Endeavors has been receiving the $18 million per month. Homeland Security reposted DOGE's X post, tagging U.S. Attorney Ed Martin with the words, "Please investigate," to which Martin responded, "Duly noted, we are on it."
Whoops.
I went to Endeavor's San Antonio headquarters today to get a comment from the organization. They responded late this afternoon by email. Endeavors was responsible for maintaining operational readiness at the Pecos shelter, ensuring the ability to scale from cold status, operationally ready but not actively serving children, to full use of 3,000 beds as needed.
$18 million a month.
That's nuts, dude. I mean, what?
But remember, Elon Musk and Dogie, bunch of Nazis.
Yeah.
Bunch of Nazis. This, did you see any real intense coverage? Obviously, it was on News 4.
In San Antonio, but no.
San Antonio,
I
but that's
I
it.
hadn't heard anything about it.
No. That's because they are so focused on telling you how the Trump administration sent the Maryland father of what, 4, 6, however many people, and his name is ironically Kilmar. What the hell is his name?
Garcia.
Yeah, Garcia.
Abrego Garcia or something like
Jose
that.
Hoseby, whatever.
Yeah.
But he is down in El Salvador. We have the U.S. Congressman.
God, that was such a train wreck yesterday. Did you see any of that?
I heard it.
He shows up down there, got to talk to the vice president, and they said, no, we're not going to show him to you. No, and we can't even schedule it. Sorry you made the trip, buddy. What the hell?
Chris Van Hollen, senator from Maryland, goes down to El Salvador to essentially rescue.
Facilitate bringing him home, like the Supreme Court said. The U.S. must facilitate.
Armando Abrego Garcia. And the complete disconnect of anybody who buys into he's just a Maryland father. And those bastards in the Trump administration sent him to El Salvador. How dare you? And this
dipshit, come on.
That's not strong enough a word for somebody who is a U.S. senator and goes down to El Salvador to try to bring back an MS-13 gang member. It blows my mind, the cognitive dissonance of these people, because Trump, orange man, bad.
Yeah.
This is where this all stems. This is how we get to the point in society where we did not have 6 double X chromosomed human beings aboard a giant penis rocket ship that went to space on Monday. You sure it was Monday? Because I'm thinking Tuesday. Because this may be more of the Mandela effect. This is how this is. This so. I mean, this is so far outside the realm of anything sane. For a sitting U.S. senator to go to a place like El Salvador,
he's not the only one, right?
They wanted. There's
2 others that want to go. Yeah.
But they didn't get the Senate approval and the Senate blessing so that it could utilize resources and security, etc.
Yes. This guy jumped on a plane, was freaking videoing himself taking off at the airport, landing in San Salvador, and then had a complete train wreck of a press conference where he was nothing happened.
What a maroon. There's Chris Van Hollen.
God, what a dork.
How do you send a monkey's ass like this to Congress? It just blows my mind.
You can't tell me the people of Maryland are happy about this dude going down there.
Some are. And you know where you'll find them? Go to Facebook. You'll find them. You'll find them probably in your own timeline. Some of them probably friends of yours. Which the people that you've known for a very long time who feel this, maybe some in your own family. That's the part that really kicks you in the ding-ding. When you look at members of your own family and you're like, what? Especially if they're your kids. And you think, where in the name of anything that is holy, where did I go wrong in raising this offspring that they believe that this is a good idea? And believe me, that is happening in more than one place across the country right now. There are people who look at their own kids and are like, what did I? I've talked to at least 2 of them in the past week, who are like, they're scratching their head and they're trying to figure out, how did I Where did I go wrong? What did I do that got them so completely effed up? To the point where I brought up to one of them, I'm starting to think it might actually be something in the water, and I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm saying, is it possible that something was sprayed into the air or in the water supply that is making people this wackadoodle? It's very Alex Jones. But is it possible? Did we spray something in the air? Is there something in the water that was targeted? That's just crazy. Is it? Was fluoride the test? Just think about that. Let that rattle around in your head for a little while. We put fluoride in why did we put fluoride in the water? And if you go back and look at the reasoning for putting fluoride in the water, it was a poisonous byproduct of what were they? It was a mining byproduct. And it was there's a longer name. It's like fluoride, sodium, something or other, whatever. Look it up yourself. Don't take my word for it. But it was a poisonous byproduct of this mining operation. Had they been forced to dispose of it properly, it would have cost them money. Pretty decent chunk of money. But instead, by simply dumping it into the water, I think they got paid for it. It's just like, they're the nuttiest stories behind why we do what we do. And you grow up and sure, fluoride's in the water. It's good for you, right? Keeps you from getting the cavities. Does it? Not sure that it does. I will tell you what does work. Not so much for cavities. But I had some...
well, we got some orders yesterday, by the way. You saw that? Thank you for everybody who ordered yesterday on the getmojocbd.com website, Patriots Relief. Brad's got his intensive, or what is it called?
It's insensitive.
Insensitive.
I think that it's the same as the maximum relief rub. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I got.
I put this. I had on my neck.
Yeah.
Have you tried it? You got something?
I haven't tried it yet. I got to take the cap off.
It's generally best if you take the cap off before you try applying any of it to you.
I mean, I don't have anything that hurts you right now, but.
All right, well, then you don't have any need for it. But when you do, and at some point you will because you caught the old, this works. It worked on my trapezius. It worked on my lower back, too, because my lower back was hurting last night because I was standing so much, because I was doing a lot of important things as an important American U.S. citizen. I was doing a lot of things standing up, and it hurt. So I put some of that on my lower back last night. And this morning it feels fabulous. I'm always skeptical when something works that fast, quite frankly. I really am. But no.
Not on yet. Yeah. I'll let you know.
So, yeah, well, at this point. Ain't no Brandon. Ain't no sunshine when Brandon's not here, right?
Yeah.
He slept in. He's babysitting. It's okay.
Maybe the case.
It's all right. He can sleep in. But go to, and again, the website is, Ron?
That would be getmojocbd.com. And
it's simple.
Look, if you just go to that website and place your order, you're going to get your discount. But if you go to patriotsrelief.com, use the promo code Daily
Why would
MoJo.
you even tell them that? Why would you even confuse
You
the
could use the promo code Daily MoJo. Guys, you're going to get 40% off.
No matter where you go, no matter what website you go to
Use
today,
the promo
always
code.
try Daily MoJo as a promo code.
Please.
Because sometimes it's going to work. And like when places that...
They have a huge selection of products, a huge selection.
Find one that, don't just buy stuff to buy
I've got this Cooling Relief Roll-On. Cooling Relief Roll-On. It's 1,500 milligrams. Premium CBD. I haven't tried this yet.
What's that do?
I don't know. I got to take the wrapper off.
Hey, I don't know, but it sure is good. Look, you got to have a reason to buy this stuff. You don't just buy it to buy it. You have to have a reason for it.
Have to have a reason.
If something hurts,
because you like me and Brad, that's reason enough.
All right, if you want to go down that road, yeah. I mean, sure. If you get up off the toilet and you turn around and you look in the toilet and it's like there's $100 bills in there because you just pooped a bunch of money out, absolutely, just buy stuff because you like us. If not, if you're watching your dollars, like who isn't, but you have some pain, I am going to tell you that this maximum relief rub is it's amazingly effective. There's a lot to be said for CBD. There really is. So getmojocbd.com is the website. Always use the promo code Daily MoJo because you never know. The magic could be right there inside it. Getmojocbd.com, promo code Daily MoJo. Do it now.
Every day at the top of the hour, I flip on the radio for a blast of truth and power from the Daily MoJo. Give me the mojo.
The Daily MoJo.
Give me the mojo.
The Daily MoJo.
Give me the mojo.
The Daily MoJo.
Give me the mojo.
Radio with an attitude. Your Daily MoJo.
Indeed, this is the image of the girl who was murdered by Gilman Abrego Garcia, whatever the hell his name is, the dude that the Maryland senator went down to try to essentially kidnap from El Salvador for whatever reason, because we have senators who want to go and bring gang members back to the United States. I have absolutely no idea why. They're crazy. We now see another strange conspiracy theory that's out there. And Beaver sent this one to me earlier, and she said, this is the weirdest 9/11 conspiracy to date. And look, I am not a wild conspiracy theorist. Okay, maybe I am. But, I mean, it's for a good reason. The fact of the matter is we were lied to so much over the course of, the past 10 years? Ever since Donald Trump made and before that, I mean, again, I know we were lied to long before that and decades before that, but we became aware of how blatant and stupid the lies were during the years of 2015 and 2018, 2019. Right into, I mean, they just, in probably a 2-year span, 2016, 17, 18. That's when they were trying to convince us of stuff that we knew with our own two eyes. We could see with our own two eyes and hear it with our own two ears that what was patently false was just a lie. And even after we knew that they were lying, you had people like Adam Schiff who would get in front of a camera and say with every ounce of sincerity he could muster for a little weasel nut that he is, that he had evidence of the Donald Trump collusion with the Russians. Had evidence. Sitting back in his office in his desk. All he had to do was go back and get, which he never did, by the way, and he never produced said evidence. Yet he keeps getting reelected. Because the people of California, for whatever reason, think he is the schniz, which is insane. So we've got all of these people who, for whatever reason, whether it's something sprayed into the air, whether it's fluoride in the water, some other chemical in the water, believe crazy things. And that has spread. And the problem is, you get that all muddled in there and lumped in there with the same people who are out there saying that the world is flat. Yeah, I'm looking at you. It is flat, dick. It might be, but I'm guessing it's not. You have to put that little disclaimer in there because you never know. But I'm pretty sure it's round. So this is the latest conspiracy theory, which I have to say sounds a little wonky to me. and not wonky in a good way.
Twin Towers. Watch this.
No, a bomb. I saw it. No plane hit nothing.
That is not a plane. They don't know what they're talking about. How would they see a plane hit that?
Dude, I saw the second explosion. That was no plane that hit the second building. It exploded from the inside out.
It was a bomb. Bomb in another building, not second plane. That was a bomb. Who said the second plane?
That's what we're told. The second plane. We saw it on television.
Everything.
All right. Thanks a lot.
What happened
These
was I was down in the basement.
These people were there apparently in New York. I mean, I'm saying that because that's what the video is claiming. Again, however, with the advent and the continued use of artificial intelligence in both video and audio, becoming increasingly difficult. Although we do have that uncanny valley thing where your brain sees things that aren't quite right. That's why I asked if that Blue Origin rocket flying was real, because to me there was just something slightly. It didn't look quite right. The problem is because of the drone that was capturing the video and the frame rate and compression and 100 other things, it can make things look slightly different. But these are people, in theory, that were sitting there in Manhattan, saw the second plane hit the tower. Notice I say plane because I'm 99.99999% sure two planes hit the Twin Towers that day. Again, I wasn't there. I know someone who was, my friend Linda, and she said she saw it, so I trust Linda on most stuff. But these people say it's not and is it possible they saw a plane and confused it for a rocket? I guess, sure. Why not? Because how often do you see a freaking plane hit the Twin Towers? How often do you see a plane hit a building, period? So when that happens, your brain is like scrambling in there trying to make sense of it, and it may have a couple of synapses discharging the wrong way and muddling your memories or your vision.
A loud bang, and the elevator doors blew open. Some guy was burnt up, so I dragged him out. His skin was all hanging off.
I've heard that story before.
Yeah,
I've heard that story about the elevator guy. The doors opened, that there was some sort of a bomb, and the doors opened, and or some sort of an explosion. And I can't remember where I saw or read that. Read a lot of stuff, and at my age, everything muddles together, which is another reason, that memories from years and years ago can sometimes get a little confused. These are people fresh, though, right there on the scene, right, again, allegedly, right after it happened.
So I dragged him out, and I pulled him out of the parking lot. This was what was left on it. Pulled him out. When I pulled him out, I looked up, and the second bomb blew off. Just saw a big burst.
All of a sudden, you heard a loud explosion, so we all ran to look. And the first building was a big hole on the side of it, and on the other side went in flame. So we stood there in shock. Everyone screaming. A woman collapsed on me. I had to lay her down.
I will say this, because they're talking about explosions and things. There were a lot of people that day who swore they heard explosions and sounds that we didn't necessarily hear on television. And why would we? I mean, there wasn't, we were standing there. We were beholden to the cameras that were capturing the events of the day and the microphones, etc. And there are artifacts you can see on the tape, on the video that we have of the Twin Towers going down, of windows being blown out in the floors below where the planes hit. Some people would say, well, that's because of the air pressure collapsing down from the top of the building. I've seen enough of the video now. Something other than an airplane and jet fuel aided those buildings going down.
Aided those, yes, I agree. Yeah.
It did not help that there was a 747 parked on the whatever floor it was. I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. Although they were designed.
They were designed to withstand it. Yep.
You could have put a plane on top of the building and it wouldn't have damaged it.
The argument has always been that the jet fuel weakened the structure. That's what they say. Yeah.
And we've had plenty of people, smart people, scientists, literal rocket scientists, come out and say that wouldn't work that way. We saw the same thing during the Rona. We saw people that we knew were perfectly sane saying, no, this was a lab leak, you can't catch it. Saying very common sense things that were just buried. They were then canceled. Dr. Peter McCullough, one of those people, a world-renowned common sense surgeon, most quoted heart surgeon, I think, in the history of quoted heart surgeons, but he didn't go along with the narrative. So suddenly he was like, "Bull, he's crazy. That guy's a nut. You can't believe him." He was right. Then you have all these engineers and architects that got together for the Engineers and Architects for Truth, for 9/11 Truth.
Yeah.
They tried to paint them as a bunch of wackos. Nope. They came out and said, no, there's something wrong here. And you go back and you examine, it's like that something. Now, do I think it was a rocket? I'm afraid to say no. You look at the Pentagon. Was that a plane or a rocket? Or both?
I'm more concerned about
the fact... Was it a plane with a rocket on it?
That's what I had read or heard. I'm more concerned about the fact that it was okay to sacrifice American citizens for that.
What's the difference between those people? Well, you're going to say they're civilians versus soldiers, but we do that in every war. We sacrifice human beings.
We do. But these people
they're trained for war.
They didn't get the opportunity to decide whether they wanted to be a part of this or not.
No. We've poisoned the government. I say the government has poisoned the people. The government has given people diseases in the name of science without telling them. The government has used drugs on people without telling them. The government does this not literally all the time, but figuratively all the time. So would it be surprising that the government was behind this? Because we were supposed to get those files released too as part of the Una Paloma Blanca committee.
Yeah, we don't hear much from her anymore. I think she got shut up, is what I heard, or is what I think.
It certainly seems that way.
She was making a big ruckus.
The rest of the Epstein files.
She was making a huge ruckus on X for several days and weeks, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Crickets.
Yep.
And in the meantime, members of Congress out there defending gang members for killing real U.S. Americans. I mean, talk about effed up. Look, we're on the right track, I think, now, hopefully. But it's going to take a long time. And we ain't done yet with the slow, painful demise of belief. Because it's going to take many, many years and or generations before we build that trust back up again. And hope it happens in our lifetime.
What do you mean it's let's go?
But it probably won't. Hey, happy Thursday, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good day. Get out there and get them before they get you. Am I right? Yes, sirree. 2 hours of audio deliciousness, freshness, good times, great oldies here on the Daily MoJo for today, April the 17th, Thursday, the year of our Lord, 2025. And did anybody learn anything? Beats the hell out of me. Original Babe over in the Rumble chat room said, just ordered some CBD rub.
I saw the order come through. Babe. Thank you.
I'll let you know if it works. Good. I got serious neck pain. Slip disc hitting nerve in neck. Yeah. I had this neck thing a few years ago when the doctor was still around, and it would I'd be sitting there, and all of a sudden it felt like somebody plunged an ice pick into my neck. And I think it was called a stinger. And it hasn't gotten to that point again, but I'm telling you, this insensitive rub is amazeballs. Not My Dog says, watch Kurt Weldon on Tucker. I don't know who Kurt Weldon is, but I love the Tucker man, and so I imagine it's going to be good. Over in the Daily MoJo chat room, we got Pecan Pie 82 over there. Demon Rat Pockest. That's why they are screaming so. Was today the day that we were spraying that substance into the Daily MoJo chat room?
Yeah.
To see how people react? Okay. that makes total sense. Airman 66 CES says the only space with those women was between their ears. Right. It should have booster rockets in the shape of testicles. Or testicales, as Airman 66 CES said. I agree. I totally
Hey,
agree.
we still have the tricorder auction, by the way.
Yes, we do. Announce the winner of that tomorrow. So send me, Brad at thedailymojo.com. Send me your bid for the first of 3 tricorders that we'll be auctioning off to benefit the Daily Mojo and us. So just send me a bid, and I would make it over $100, just if you want to win, because that's where we stand right now, about 100. Remember that we the people must hang together, otherwise we shall surely hang separately. Sic semper tyrannis, resist stupid. Good night, Dr. Thompson.
Wherever you are. See you tomorrow.
Au revoir.
Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.